Pasta fagioli is simply pasta and beans, but really it's so much more. It's an Italian soup and it's one of my favorites. My version is plant-based and even vegan-friendly and can be made in under an hour. To make my version of pasta fagioli, I'm going to be using the Instant Pot. Now, you can just do this in a pot on the stove, no problem. I do have my Instant Pot set to saute, and I am taking my vegetables and putting them right in. Those vegetables are 3 ribs of celery, 1 whole onion, 2 carrots, and 4 cloves of garlic chopped up. I did not put any oil into the Instant Pot. You can if you prefer. I like to cook without it. I'll just use a little bit of vegetable broth to keep it from sticking. And I just want to give them a little bit of a stir around. The saute on the Instant Pot gets hot really fast, but it doesn't get super hot, which I actually find that kind of good for this. Just want to soften up those vegetables. It seems like anything might be starting to stick. A little bit of vegetable broth works. I'm using ours that I make from scraps. And that way, you know, nothing gets wasted and it adds more flavor. And you can see that just takes the temperature right back down. As those are softening, I'm going to add in about 3 cups of cut green beans. These are fresh. If you're using canned, you can wait to put them in, but these are fresh, so they take a little bit more to cook. Okay, our onions are starting to turn translucent. That means our veggies are getting softer. That's exactly what we want. So next additions go in. 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I am using the no salt added version. So I have a 14.5-ounce can of no salt added diced tomatoes. Now they just add a little bit of texture in addition to the tomato-iness. At this point, I'm gonna shut off the saute function on the Instant Pot because we don't really need it anymore. I'm going to add 2 cups of veggie broth and 2 cups of water. Then I'm gonna give that a stir. I like my soup thick, so, you know, that's why you see a lot of stuff in here and we ain't done yet. At this point, you add your meat. Now this is my Seitan Italian Sausage, but traditionally it would be like a ground meat, so you can use tofu crumbles or the meat substitute of your choice. And now for the beans. I'm using Great Northern beans because I have trouble finding cannellini beans in dry form. If you're doing this on the stove, feel free to use canned beans. If you're doing it in the Instant Pot, there's really no need, so you can pour in dried beans. I'm using a whole cup. Because those are dried beans and they're gonna soak up more liquid, I'm going to add another cup of water. Give that a mix. Now our herbs and spices. I have half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of dried basil, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, and 1 tablespoon of dried thyme. Yes, in this one, you can add too much thyme. I did it once and it just didn't really taste quite right. Again, give that a mix through. Once I have that all mixed together, I'm going to add in some spinach. Now, you can use spinach, you can use kale, you can use the green of your choice, you can use frozen, you can use fresh, whatever you like. I'm using fresh. This is about a 9-ounce bag. Get it all into the liquid. And I know it looks like a lot, but we all know spinach cooks down to like nothing. This is looking a little bit dry, so I'm gonna add, I have probably a half cup of vegetable broth here. I'm gonna add that, and I'm gonna add some more water. Probably another full cup between vegetable broth and water. You can pretty much sub out water for vegetable broth, but vegetable broth adds a little more flavor, so, you know, try to get as much in there as you can. Looking more like a stew than a soup right about now. I'm okay with that. I like it thick. Just want to get everything underneath the liquid as best we can. Then we're going to pop the lid on, and we're going to make sure the pressure setting is on so that you're going to build pressure, and we're going to pressure cook this for 45 minutes. You can leave it on keep warm if you want to. I'm not going to in this case because I want to be able to take it off of that quicker. So I'm going to turn that off and hit start. Your Instant Pot may look slightly different than mine, but they all operate more or less the same way. While your soup is cooking in the Instant Pot, what you want to do is get some pasta ready. So I have some water boiling on the stove and I'm going to get 8 ounces of pasta together. Now, the exact amount obviously isn't critical, but I do measure everything so that way I know how many calories I'm getting, how many carbs I'm getting, how much fat, you know, all that kind of stuff. And today I'm using a combination of a few different pastas. Well, at least 2. Like for instance, this one, this is made from chickpeas, and I have about 4.3 ounces of that one. And I have this one here. It's a whole grain penne. I have a little bit of this one left. Let's see. Looks like I gotta open another box. I actually had a red lentil pasta here too. So, you know, I just have a little bit of an open box. We'll put that in here. 7.4 ounces. Good enough for me. I think that's close to 8. The point being, the type of pasta you use is not really as critical as just using pasta that is kind of healthy or interesting. We have some spirals, we have some penne, we have whole wheat, we have red lentil, we have chickpea. This is unique and different. Mix it up a little bit, make it interesting. All right, our timer has gone off, and I usually let this sit for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. I'm just not real big into letting it sit for a while. I wanna eat. So we release the pressure now. All right, pressure has been released. We can open that lid and take a look inside. Looks like soup. Oh yeah, that looks lovely. You can see all the beans and the pieces of vegetables and the sausage in there. That just looks wonderful. Let me just get some into a bowl here. Now I know you're probably wondering, why didn't I put the pasta right into the Instant Pot and just let it cook in there? It's because if you've ever cooked pasta for a really long time, you know that it can get kind of poofy, and if it sits in the liquid too long, it just gets kind of gross and nasty. So I like to put the pasta in separately, and in this case, I have 3 different kinds of pasta. I don't really know exactly what any of them are gonna do. So I just wanna, get a little bit of that in there. I figure this is like 4 to 6 servings here, so, about that much. Spoon that through. I'll probably have way too much pasta in this bowl. And back in the day, I used to put Parmesan cheese on my pasta fagioli. So now I use nutritional yeast, and I just, sprinkle a little bit on there. And we are good to go. And here we have our very hot bowl of pasta fagioli. And I do store the soup and the pasta separately, just so you know. You can keep them both in the fridge, you can freeze them both. Well, I wouldn't freeze the pasta. You can freeze the soup, and we do that all the time. And then just cook up some pasta, throw it in there when you reheat it, and you're all good to go. But let's just get a little taste of this. Get a little bit of everything here. Some broth, some sausage, some carrots, some bean. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm blowing on it because I can hear Derica in the back of my head going, "It's really hot, you're gonna burn your mouth." And I wanna enjoy this. All right, this is really good. I know I say that every single time, but in this case, here's what I'm getting. This is the same flavors that I got from pasta fagioli in the past, which coincidentally, pasta fagioli is really a minestrone soup with beans and other veggies added to it, more veggies added to it, with extra tomato and things like that, with a little bit of meat added to it. So really, it's a vegetable soup with meat rather than pasta and beans, if you want to get kind of technical about the actual makeup of it. Let me get another taste, for science. It's actually burning my hand to hold the bowl. You have the wonderful textures of the pasta with the veggies are just a little bit softened, and everything is coming through. The sweetness of the carrot and the onion is really adding to it. You can taste the herbs, the basil and oregano and the thyme, and then the sausage adds that little bit of a kick. This is just fantastic, guys. If you get the opportunity to try to make this, you can do it in under 1 hour. It's just a fantastic dinner. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Pasta fagioli literally means pasta and beans. It's an Italian-styled soup. Let me do that again. Pasta fagioli is simply pasta and beans, but really it's so much more. It's an Italian soup, and it's one of my favorites. Oh my God, this is good.